Meet Alex. He's 34, 2 kids, decent job, does everything right. But lately, something's off. His paycheck hasn't changed, but somehow everything feels tighter. Groceries feel unpredictable. His mortgage looks stable until he realizes his property taxes quietly climbed. His savings feel smaller even though he's adding the same amount every month. And every headline tells him the economy is strong. But deep down, Alex feels something no chart can capture. The system isn't working the way it used to. And here's the part no one wants to admit. It's far worse than anyone realizes. Because what Alex is feeling, millions of Americans are feeling too. Not panic, not collapse, but a slow, creeping distrust that starts small and ends up shaking the entire foundation of the economy. See, people think recessions begin with job losses or crashing markets, but that's not true. Every major downturn starts with a psychological shift. A quiet moment when people like Alex stop believing the system will take care of them. That small shift becomes a massive economic ripple. And that ripple? It's already happening. Hi, my name is John, and I'm an ex-banker turned YouTuber. And today, I want to show you the part of the economy nobody is talking about. The part underneath the charts, the numbers, the headlines, the part inside people. Let's start with the problem. You don't need a PhD to see it. People are spending less on things that used to buy without thinking. Not because they're broke, but because they don't trust prices anymore. People are saving more, not because they're disciplined, but because they don't trust what tomorrow looks like. People are working harder, not because opportunity is exploding, but because they don't trust their job to protect them in a downturn. This is what a trust collapse looks like before it becomes an economic collapse. Small decisions driven by uncertainty. Millions of tiny choices that add up to one giant problem. Americans aren't behaving like participants in an economy anymore. They're behaving like survivors. Now, let me give you a surprising insight from inside the banking world. When trust begins to fall, banks notice it way before the public does. And right now, banks see deposit flight increasing, loan demand weakening, and credit risk rising. Not because people are in crisis, but because people don't believe the future is stable. Trust doesn't break loudly, it breaks quietly. Let me give you a quick example. During inflation's peak, a carton of eggs went from $3 to $8, back to $4. People didn't care about the price. What they lost was confidence. When prices wobble like that, people stop trusting any number they see. The damage is psychological, not financial. And once trust disappears, it doesn't come back quickly. Here's the takeaway most people miss. The economy doesn't run on money. It runs on belief. Belief that your job will be there. Belief that your bank will protect you. Belief that tomorrow won't be worse than today. And that belief is breaking in slow motion. Now here's the twist, and the part that's worse than anyone realizes. Trust collapses in phases. First, people stop trusting prices, then institutions, then leadership, and finally, each other. Once that happens, the economy shifts from growth mode to fear mode. Liquidity dries up, investors tighten, businesses freeze, households hold back, and the entire system starts to wobble. But here's the truth nobody talks about. A trust collapse isn't the end. It's a reset. A painful reset, yes, but a necessary one. Because when people finally see the system for what it is, they rebuild it with rules that make sense, rules they believe in, rules that actually work. And this is where opportunity lives, not during the collapse, but in the rebuilding. Every major economic boom in history started after a crisis of trust. Always. So the real question isn't whether things are getting worse. They are. The real question is, who's preparing for the moment trust comes back? Because the people who understand how trust works, how it rises, how it falls, how it resets, those are the people who win the next phase of the economy. Not because they're lucky, not because they're smarter, but because they saw the shift before everyone else. Alex will be fine, not because the system improves, but because he understands what's actually happening beneath the surface. And if you're still here, you do too. The economy is not numbers. It's psychology. It's behavior. It's trust. And when trust breaks, everything changes. I'll see you in the next video.